Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm showing how to make print and cut return address labels with your Cricut machine. I wanted to get this video out sooner since I know a lot of people have been sending out Christmas cards, but it's something I use throughout the year, so I still wanted to get this video done. This is an easy, beginner-friendly Cricut project. I hope you find it helpful, and let's get into the video. I'm using the Ado labels. This is my go-to for sticker paper. It's really great. This is the super glossy waterproof kind. They have several different kinds. I buy it from Amazon and I can leave a link down below for those. Next, I'll show you how I put the labels together in Cricut Design Space. First, what I'm going to do is click on my shapes. I want to grab a rectangle. I also want it to be a rounded rectangle, so I'll grab this one. It is free, which is nice if you don't have Cricut access. I want my height to be 1 inch. That makes the width about 1.5 inches, but I would like for it to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to hit the unlock button and drag it over a little bit. I think that looks good. I'm just going to make this 1 inch again since it increased just a little bit. I think that will be a good size for the address label. I'm going to change it to white. This is print and cut, so whatever colors this is going to be, that's what it'll print. So I want the background to be white. I'll be adding my font, but I also want to grab an image to make it look cute and Christmassy. I'm just going to go over to images in Cricut Design Space to find it, but you can find images from anywhere. I ended up just typing up the code since I've already made these labels before, and this is what I'm using is just a little Christmas tree. I'll add it to the canvas and I am going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm just going to zoom in on this because it'll be a lot easier to see it. This is just going to go on one side of the address labels. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to grab a font and I'm going to do 2 different fonts. I'll click on text. I already have my first font selected. It's called Christmas Bell. I downloaded this from Creative Fabrica. I'm just going to have this say the Smith family. I used the Smith as an example for my last video also. I'm just going to make this smaller. That's probably too small. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger to fit inside here. And I'm also going to make this color red. Now I'm going to grab my last font. And for this font, I'm just going to type in the address. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to make it smaller. I do like to have the space between it to be a little bit less, so I am going to click on line space and bring it down some. I like it just a little bit closer together. I'm just going to keep the color black for this, and I'll bring it in here. I think I'll select on the Smith family, go to my align tool, and I'm just going to align center, so it's just going straight down the center. I'm just kind of eyeballing this. You can get a little bit more specific with the align tool, but I don't think you need to. I think that looks good. The next step, which is really important, is to highlight over the entire thing. You can see everything is selected in the layers panel, and then you'll want to select flatten. Let's say you're putting this on 40 to 50 envelopes. You could duplicate it that many times, but that would take a long time. The easiest way to do it is go to the Make It screen, then go to Project Copies and type in a number. Here it'll fit as many as it can onto one sheet, so you don't have to kind of guess how many will fit on a sheet either. It does look like there's some space that it could be added, but it's trying to put it more horizontal, so I think that's why, but that's okay. I do only want to print out just one sheet for an example, and I just counted these and there's 16, so I am going to type 16, hit enter, and then just print this out for my example. Next, I'll hit send to printer. You'll want to have your printer selected that you're going to be using. For the bleed, I typically recommend keeping that on. I see a lot of people recommend turning it off, and even when you click on this, it says that it extends the ink slightly beyond the border, and that helps eliminate a white margin once the image is cut. For these address labels, the whole thing is white. It doesn't have to be that specific, so I'm just going to turn it off. And for use system dialog, I'm going to turn that on because it will open up my printer settings. Then I'll hit print. It popped up. If for some reason it's just loading and loading, it will probably be behind Cricut. So I've had that happen and I'm like, what is going on? For some reason, my print in color is turned off, so I want to make sure that is turned on. And for my media and quality, I am going to go to quality. I'll select best since I'm using glossy paper. You can also select glossy paper for your media type. I'm just going to choose best for my quality though. Then I'll hit print. I'm using an inkjet printer and you'll want to know which way your paper prints out. I have to put the glossy side down, but every printer is different. It will print off the sheet and it will also have those black registration lines in the corner. That is used for the Cricut to be able to tell where to cut. For my cut setting, I like to use printable vinyl. I haven't had any issues with the ink smearing on this paper. That's one reason why I really like it, but I like to use my brayer tool when I press it down right after it's printed, just in case. Also, this just makes sure that the paper stays in place and doesn't pick up off the mat. I load my mat into the Cricut machine, then press the blinking button, and the first thing it will do is read the registration lines. If you're using an Explorer Air 2, sometimes it has a difficult time with that. What you can do is either make it brighter in your room that you're using it, or you might have to put Scotch tape over the registration lines. Sometimes that helps a lot, and it has to be matte Scotch tape. For some reason, it struggles with that glossy paper. Once it's done with that, it will cut out the labels. You might have to play around with the cut setting. It's different with every machine and every paper. The printable vinyl setting is a good place to start. It gives me that kiss cut where you can just peel it off of the paper. And for labels like this, that's what I like, instead of having it cut all the way through the backing of the paper. I bend my mat backwards to easily remove the sticker paper, and here's what it looks like. It's just such an easy and quick project to put together with the Cricut, and it makes it so nice to not have to write out all of those return addresses. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribed if you are new to my channel.